Despite popular belief, there are only 4 trading methods that you really need to know for you to be able to make coins trading on FIFA 23 Ultimate Team. I know there's loads of content creators, including myself, which will go through a number of different methods throughout the year, showing you exactly how you can make coins, but you really don't need them. It's just an extra thing that you can do if you would like to make a little bit more. But if you just stick with these 4 methods whilst also playing matches between them, you're going to be way above the average player. You're going to be able to make a hell of a lot more coins, and ultimately you're going to have a much better team. But before I share exactly what those trading methods are, if you are looking to get some very easy coins which saves you from having to go through any of these methods, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA 23 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic5 at checkout, you also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video. Really, with all of these methods, you want to be partnering up with matches. You don't need to be doing all 4 of them at the exact same time, but if you have 1 or 2 of them in between every single game that you play, you're going to be on your way where you can earn quite a good amount of coins through trading itself. Plus on top of that, you still reap the benefits of the coins at the end of every match you play, plus whatever weekly rewards you get, whether that's through division rivals, foot champions, or even the likes of squad battles. So the first trading method is simply just comparing player prices, and you can do this across every single quality of card that's out there, and all you need to do is just select a quality, doesn't matter what it is, and search the transfer market. That is all you need to do. You don't need to put in any special parameters, you don't need to change the buy nows or add anything else, you just search quality. On this channel, when we're talking about this type of trading method, we normally look at it in the point of view of using bronze or silver players because we're really trying to build those coins up right at the beginning. So you would select the quality of bronze, you will then search and go through the transfer market. You're looking for players that already have bids on and you're ignoring everything else. The reason you're looking for players with bids on is because there's already interest in that player. So it's likely that they have a much lower bid compared to the lowest buy now. It makes no sense for anyone to place a bid on a player if there's already options where you can get them instantly on a buy now for a lot cheaper. And if someone is going to place a bid, they're not just going to place a bid on a player which is 50 coins less. It's probably going to be something a bit more substantial, which gives you a bit of breathing room where you can actually buy them cheaper and also list them at a much higher price on a buy now. So once you do find a player with a bid on, all you're doing is comparing that player's price. You do that by pressing X on your controller, and there you are able to see every single version of that current player which is listed on the transfer market. And there you're just going through again each of them, and now you're trying to find the lowest buy now. If you find a bronze player which is currently listed at 150 coins bid, and then you compare their price and the cheapest buy now is 400 coins, you can place a 200 coin bid on that original player, and then once you win them, list them back onto the transfer market at 350. That way you're the cheapest on the market, but when someone sees them and wants to buy them, they're going to go for yours and you're still able to make profit. Now this is just random numbers. You can actually find a lot of deals like this where you're buying players for 200 coins and you're able to list them for over 1,000 coins. And the example that I'm given is for bronze players, but you can do this with bronze, silver, and you can even start looking at other types of special cards. It doesn't work too well with gold because it takes a bit longer for you to actually compare the player's price because there is so many gold players. That's where you need to change it slightly, where you'll need to use a site such as Footbin, which will keep you updated on the latest price of that player. The second trading method is bulk bidding. With this method, what you're trying to do is find a rare gold player where there's loads of them on the market, and let's just say that they're listed at 1,000 coins, and what you're going to try and do is bid on 50 of them because that's the maximum amount that you can actually hold within your watch list, and you're going to bid at around 600 coins. You will not win every single one of them, but if you was to win 20 of them, for each of them you're making 350 coins profit after EA tax on every single one of those cards that do sell on, which may not sound like a crazy amount, but because you're able to win 20 of those and you're able to sell each and every single one of them on, it does lead to you making 7,000 coins, and this can be done in a matter of minutes. Yet again, the numbers that I've used are just rough examples to show you what you can look for. How much profit you look for on each card is entirely up to you. The less profit that you're aiming to actually achieve will lead to winning more of those deals, whereas the more profit you're trying to make on each card, you're going to win less deals. For this method, it's more about just finding players out there, which there are loads of. You just need to go through a bit of trial and error until you find someone that is reliable, and then it's the case of balancing, seeing how low you can put a bid in for you to make profit while still winning a decent amount. You know you have a good player and you know you have a good price range if you're bidding on 50 players, filling up your watch list, and you can win anywhere between 30 to 40. The third trading method is sniping. Sniping never really used to be a thing until price ranges were added back in, I believe, FIFA 14. And ever since then, players had to use the sniping method not just to trade, but also to go and find players that they wanted to use for their team. There's quite a lot of players, even to this day, which are extinct on the market. And the only way that you can actually win them is if you constantly spam the market whilst you're searching. With sniping, there's going to be loads of different filters, and there's content creators out there which have built communities based on the different sniping filters that they share on a daily basis. They look at specific players, specific groups of players, maybe players from different leagues, and in some cases it's not anything to do with players, and they'll look at different types of club items or consumables, whatever it is. There's so many different options for this, is why it's part of this video, because it's likely whether or not you're looking to get someone to trade with or put into your team, you're gonna have to snipe at some point. For this though, you will need to find the lowest buy now for a particular type of player or a particular type of card. And then it's the case of taking away however many coins that you're looking to make in profit once you do finally win them. You'll set that as your maximum buy now price, and when you search, nothing's going to happen unless there is a player that is currently valued at that price. Now the problem with this is that you can't just sit here and just keep on searching, because it doesn't really update the market. EA is just going to give you the same message even if there is a player that fits within those requirements. That's why you need to go back up to your maximum bid and set that to the maximum price of 50 million. Now you're going to hold left on your controller and you're constantly going to be searching. This will give you a message every single time saying that there is no players that fit those parameters, so you need to change them. You just accept it by pressing A or X depending on your platform and just search again. You keep this going over and over as quickly as possible. And if someone else does list a player out there which fits your parameters, you will actually find that player where you need to be quick to buy them. If you have the patience to do this, you can make an insane amount of coins. You just need to constantly be searching the transfer market, and also there'll be occasions where you need to prove that you're not a bot. So you'll be kicked out of Ultimate Team, and then you need to go through the verification process where you'll be let back in, and then you have to set everything up again to carry on sniping. And the last method is not actually so much of a trading method, but more of investing. If you do the previous methods that we've talked about, you will be able to make coins, but it's no good just having coins. It's worth actually placing them into some investments. That way you're not relying on you constantly being able to trade for you to generate coins, but you can actually just place your coins into some of these players, let them forget them, and then come back a few weeks, a few months later, and they've all increased. With this, nothing fancy again, but it is definitely worth knowing the cycle of fodder investing. Typically, players that are 83 rated or above, most of the time, unless they are desirable, but most of the time, they're going to be valued fairly cheap. We're talking 83 rated players being around 1,000, maybe 2,000 coins. And when they're at this price, it's worth buying into them and just storing one of each into your club. Now, it doesn't just stop at 83 rated players. You can go higher with their rating as long as they are cheap compared to the other players that have a similar rating. Now, these players you're probably not going to use in your team unless you really want to, but the reason they're cheap is because they're not good in game. The other types of players that you can look to invest in is special cards, more specifically your team of the week. Team of the week is released every Wednesday at 6 PM. What I tend to do the following Wednesday, just before they're taken out of packs and a new one is released, is I buy into some of the cheaper players which are still decently rated. We're talking players above 80, and if they're in any of the top 5 major leagues, being Premier League, Liga and Serie, Bundesliga and La Liga. Now, for all of these players, I'll buy into them, send them to my club, never use them, and just forget about them. But at some point in the future, EA will release an SBC, which requires you to have a rating. And And when that does happen, that is when those players which are 83 rated or above then suddenly have a huge amount of demand, because there's a lot of people in the community that are looking to complete that SBC. That's when you can see some of these 83 rated players, which are currently valued at 1,000 coins, they may increase to 1,500 coins, which is a 50% increase for you buying a player when they're cheap and doing nothing with them. As for the special cards, we will get SBCs at some point which require you to have a team of the week player or a special card within the starting 11. When that happens, of course, people are going to be going for the cheapest ones, the ones that you've most likely bought into. And if there is a point where they also need to be linked up with chemistry or even a rating, the higher their rating, the more they're going to increase, or the better their league, most likely the top 5 major leagues as we mentioned, the more likely they're also going to increase. That is the point in where you can use those players to complete the challenge, or you can sell them on. And a few weeks after these challenges have expired, the market will start to go down again, and that is when you buy back into the exact same players again, just to hold off and wait. But this time, because you have more coins, because you made a profit, you can buy into a hell of a lot more. But anyway guys, these are the only trading methods that you really need to know to be successful within FIFA 23 Ultimate Team. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.